It was past midnight when 10-year-old Emma sat on the hard plastic chair of the police station, her small fingers twisting the edge of her faded pink hoodie. Her father, Jake, a quiet man with tired eyes and a limp he tried to hide, was in the next room, accused of assaulting a man outside the local diner. To everyone else, Jake looked like a broken veteran barely holding life together. To Emma, he was everything. Earlier that night, they had gone to the diner for a simple meal, fries and coffee for him, a small sundae for her. But when a group of men mocked Jake's limp and called him washed up, Emma saw the shadow cross her father's face. He ignored them at first, until one of them shoved him. It wasn't until they cornered Emma, laughing about her fake hero dad, that Jake reacted, fast, calm, and precise. Seconds later, the bullies were on the floor, and the police were called. Now he sat in custody, head down, saying nothing. When Officer Miller walked in, he smirked. "So your dad's special forces, huh? That's what you told my partner." He leaned back in his chair, clearly amused. "Sweetheart, no offense, but your dad looks more like a janitor than a soldier." Emma's heart clenched. Her dad was a janitor, at the high school, just to pay bills. But she also knew the stories he didn't tell, the nightmares that made him wake up in the middle of the night whispering names. The folded flag in their living room wasn't decoration. It was memory. "I'm not lying," she whispered. "He was Delta Force." The officer chuckled. "Kid, those guys are ghosts. They don't end up sweeping hallways." Just then, the door opened, and in walked an older man with sharp eyes and a military bearing that made everyone straighten unconsciously. He was wearing civilian clothes, but the authority in his posture spoke louder than any uniform. "I'm Colonel Harris," he said quietly, flashing a government ID. "Where's Sergeant First Class Jake Walker?" The officer blinked. "Sergeant Walker? You mean that guy?" Harris' jaw tightened. "That man saved my teams, lives in Kandahar in 2012. He's the reason I'm standing here." Emma's eyes filled with tears. She turned toward the interrogation room, where her father sat motionless, unaware of what was happening outside. Harris continued, voice low but edged with pride. "He's a decorated Special Forces operator, 3 Bronze Stars, 1 Purple Heart. Retired after shrapnel nearly took his leg. And you arrested him." The room fell silent. Moments later, Jake was escorted out. He looked confused when he saw Harris, then gave a small nod, a soldier's recognition. "Didn't expect to see you again, sir," he said softly. Harris smiled faintly. "Didn't expect to have to bail you out, Sergeant." The cop who had laughed earlier swallowed hard. I didn't know." Jake looked at him, tired but calm. "You don't need to know, son. Just remember, not all heroes wear fresh uniforms. Some wear work boots." Emma ran into her father's arms, tears streaming down her face. He hugged her tight, his hand trembling slightly. "Hey, kiddo, I told you everything would be okay." Outside, as they walked into the cool night air, Harris stopped Jake. "You still teaching your daughter about courage?" Jake smiled faintly. "She's teaching me." The next morning, the local news covered the story. Video footage from the diner's security camera showed Jake defending his daughter, not attacking anyone. The men who provoked him apologized publicly. Comments flooded in online. "We need more fathers like this. Respect to our veterans." But what went viral wasn't the fight, it was the moment Emma stood in that police station, holding her dad's badge and saying, "He's my hero." Within days, people from around the country reached out. Veterans, single parents, even strangers. Moved by the story of a quiet man who had once saved lives overseas and now swept school floors just to keep his daughter fed. Jake didn't care about fame. He only cared about tucking Emma in that night, her small hand gripping his, whispering, "I told them you were special, Dad." He smiled, eyes glistening. "You were right, sweetheart. But you're the special one."